In late 2017, the developers of Rocket League announced a new competition strictly for college students called Collegiate Rocket League. It started as an outlet to give players that were in school a chance to compete against other full-time students to help pay off some of their college debt. So when CRL would turn into a league full of programs recruiting pro players on full-ride scholarships to take wins and prizing left and right from these college kids, it left to question the integrity and future direction of the league going forward.
My name is Bussy. I've been playing CRL for 3 years, and right now I compete for Stockton University. When I first heard of pros joining CRL, I wouldn't really say they had an advantage, because if anything, the pressure was on them to actually do good against the CRL players. A lot of these pros who are on these just normal colleges, just be one pro and then a few other players, they would never do good. Because it just shows it takes 30 people to have a good team. To casual fans, they just see the big names and think, all right, this team's really good, this other team has no chance. If I can remember correctly, I think they made playoffs but didn't really go too far. It was just nice playing these pros and kind of proving the people who don't really follow CRL that much that it's actually a pretty high level league.
We started to see recruiting colleges like Northwood and Bay State have their eyes on the pro player pool, offering full-ride scholarships for not only one player, but a full team. These students would now compete not to help them pay off their college debt, but rather to pocket the extra prizing on top of their already paid tuition.
I'm Jay. I play for St. Clair. I thought it was a really cool idea that they could give these college students free scholarships, but it is kind of becoming not really about college, kind of more becoming about the money in the competition. It's more businessy now. When people like Tristan and Ajax first came in, I think it was a lot more a chance to get my education paid for. And now with a lot of pros coming in, it's a chance to make free money. It was a little weird when I first started considering CRL. I knew that there was places that gave out scholarships. I knew that that was the thing, but I didn't know that there was dedicated esports schools who just will buy any player that's good. That was a little shocking to me.
Back in the day when pros were in CRL, they didn't view it as we're gonna go in, make some easy money and get out. They were just kind of at college and they figured, all right, well, there's a CRL thing, might as well play in that a bit. We saw with Bay State, they came in thinking, oh, easy money, I'll just go to the school, we'll farm CRL, I'll also get a degree. And then they go there and they all hate it. They say it's a horrible school, they don't like being there. They played CRL for one season last year in the fall. They were one of the most dominant teams besides Northwood, and they still ended up leaving that school. I feel CRL is just setting a precedent where it's if you want to do good in CRL, get recruited by a really bad school, not get the best degree or have the best college life. They're kind of screwing themselves over in the end.
Unlike Bay State's roster, Northwood would gain more pros through recruiting rather than losing them. They were able to field 2 rosters in their conference where both would finish in the top 4. But after that season, once again, we would see one of the pros leave Northwood, causing them to go back to a single stacked power team. They would dominate in league play before qualifying for the first ever CRL World Championships.
The big news is that CRL is actually going global. We are bringing Europe to Collegiate Rocket League.
Europe did have their own college league, but it was a few years behind North America's, and for the first time we would see European schools debut in CRL. These rosters may have had the talent with teams like Berlin Phoenix led by the RLCS player Tigray, but they would finally see what teams had been dealing with on the other side of the pond.
We knew Berlin coming in didn't have the experience that we had at all. They just thought they were going to dominate because they have a pro player. But us North American CRO players already know that's not the case.
Stockton, really their only choice in a lot of these plays, just to throw it downfield. Tigray off the Bussy and in. You can see how happy Berlin are. They take game 1.
Giving control back to Stockton. Here it comes. Oh, misses the double, but the goal still comes. Drip gets his second.
And now the offense is rolling for Stockton.
For him there, but he still had a defender. It was kind of rough. Didn't have the boost to kind of wrap around it. Speed. It's going to be hard.
The reset here from top keys to the right corner.
Wasn't sure he was ever going to lose a 50 again, but oh no, they got caught out.
Oh, he put it in.
Trip, not how you want to touch it. Time running out, Quintessence staying on top of it. Oh, with the bounce, hits the ground, and Berlin have forced a game 5.
Wow.
Nobody's following it up quickly from Stockton. No one really expecting that
Still
touch.
awkward.
Popped up. Oh my goodness,
It's
he goes to the post. And he does it again. Stockton down the field. Do they get the touch?
Wow.
Done. Berlin eliminated. Stockton move on.
Sent them home. Stockton coming out huge in game 5.
There's even some little preview of us against Northwood before we played. Of me talking once we got to Worlds, saying I know we're going to make the final and it's just going to be against Northwood. We know they're here just to dominate CRL and just to take advantage of the opportunity. So it's kind of more of we're not going to let them do that. Against them, there's kind of more of a rivalry because we just want to shut them down and make their school suffer.
Time expires. Stockton looking for something at 0 seconds.
Oh,
they popped it up. It's Bussy gets the 0 seconds. Long. Northwood aren't going to let them play with it. There it is. Hockey delivers the game 3 victory for Northwood. Ryan Blaze barely protecting that one.
Cheeky one from Stockton. Definitely a way to slip it through.
Oh, no!
Ryan Blaze is going to do it to him. Northwood, thank you very much.
That's why I was annoying getting swept by Northwood in the final, because it's like we take games off them all the time. So this is, you know, the best way for us to show that we're good, and we didn't get to do that. So I remember, you know, some people being upset because these schools, you know, recruit a super team to come play and dominate CRL.
Obviously, to people who are more into traditional sports, it's a bit jarring. You're not going to see a professional basketball player playing for a college. If you're upset that pros play, I don't think that that's valid. In Rocket League, CRL is like completely separate from the RLCS. It's not like a feeder league. Having pros is going to really help CRL viewership.
We know the amount of work you got to do to actually play in CRL, because it's not just playing and getting better, competing for thousands of dollars, but it's also going to your classes, being at school, and being involved in clubs. Esports is so new. We shouldn't be stopping these young kids from getting degrees. If they're actually at the college and going for the right reasons, it's like there's no problem with them playing in CRL, because at the end of the day, they're just kids just like us, just trying to get a degree and play Rocket League. So
The problem is that a new Bay State roster wouldn't be going for what would be considered the right reasons. They have plans of recruiting 3 pros with the intention of staying wherever they are and playing exclusively online. In the past, you wouldn't be able to do this to compete in CRL, but that rule was voided when COVID was made known and has yet to be changed. While regulating pros playing in general is up in the air, the opinion on this situation seems to be very well agreed upon.
now it's just the online thing, because those players were in person, so at least we knew like they were committed, not just sitting in their room getting to play extra collegiate games while they're eating their mom's dinner.
I don't love it, especially with Bay State. It's not a real school. It's like a small apartment building. I don't blame the players. They have no reason to not do it. They're just going to sit in their rooms and just get free money.
Bay State's literally fighting to actually be considered a college still. That's how low it is on the academic scale. CRL was made to help players go to college and get a degree for cheap, you know? So then when you have a full team coming in online to a college that we know is probably not going to even work out for them, just to come in and play CRL, I feel like it kind of defeats the whole purpose of what CRL is made for. But when you're sitting at home and just having to take 1 or 2 online classes, it's not even like you're in college at that point. On paper, it looks like you're in college so you can play.
Psyonix needs to implement something to like prevent that from being possible. You should have to attend in person now that COVID's not really a factor.
Of course, you can make exceptions for a student who like may really need an online to be at college, you know? But when you see like these pro players coming in, you know they can just go to a college. I don't think we could stop all these schools like finding these loopholes to take advantage of it, right? But I think what CRL has to do is make some small rules to limit some of the people trying to take advantage of CRL. Another example, right? Make it so schools can only have 1 team. Because right now there's only a few schools that recruit with these full rides, and they get to have 2 teams. They can have more if they want.
Yeah, I feel like that can just be abused very easily, having 2 teams, especially for places that just recruit a ton of players.
What are we gonna do? Not make a rule, and then in like 5 years we have the top 10 schools in CRL be like 2 from Northwood, 2 from Bay State, 2 from this school, 2 from that school. I just think CRL has to take some stance on some of these issues before things get out of hand.
Should CRL regulate these pro players as the league gains more attention and scholarship opportunities, or should pros be banned altogether to leave more room for balanced collegiate gameplay? This video will explain more of the history of CRL to help form your opinion. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.